Hello and welcome to the Cybird here at the StarCityGames.com Open Series in Providence, Rhode Island. I'm Ken Crocker here with Ian Barber. Ian, how you doing?
Doing pretty well, yeah.
All right, so the internet called for it. The people saw it.
Right.
They want to talk about it. So we're here with what we're going to call it Blue-Green Morph. And the reason we're going to call it Blue-Green Morph is because you have 3 Stratus Dancers.
Yeah.
3 Den Protectors.
Right.
4 Death Mist Raptors. You have 3 Rattleclaw Mystics. You have so many Morph creatures.
Yeah.
So where did the idea for all this shenanigans come in?
Yeah, so it actually started with a mono green Stompy shell. That was the first place I worked off of. It had like Servant of the Scale, Avatar of Resolute, Elvish Mystic, Hero of Lena Tower. But I realized apart from Elvish Mystic, I wasn't satisfied with any of the 1-drops really. And if your goal is going to be to get under, then you have to like have a significant number of 1-drops.
Sure.
So I felt like the deck too many times was just a step slower than I would have liked.
Okay.
So from there, I thought about what color I could add. I realized I really loved the card Collected Company.
Which is a 4 of.
A 4 of, yeah. Yeah, if you notice, every creature in the deck, there's 28 creatures, all of them can be cast with Collected Company.
Yeah, that's quite the beating sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, if you can hit a raptor or a satyr, you know, you're in a pretty good place. Or, you know, respond to a siege rhino with a Collected Company, hoping to hit a Silumgar sorcerer.
Sure. So you added blue to your Stompy deck, and you got a little bit of like control out of it with your creatures because you have 3 Stratus Dancers and 2 Silumgar sorcerers. So now we got some counter magic in with our Collected Company deck.
Yeah.
Which hasn't really been done yet. So did you really put a lot of thought into these 2? We also have 2 Stubborn Denials, which, to be fair, are turned on once you Megamorph a bunch of your creatures. Like, you Megamorph a Death Mist Raptor, and guess what? Your Stubborn Denial's turned on now.
Right.
So, but the thing is I don't see a lot to turn on the Stubborn Denial, but you do have this sweet 1 of. Tell me about Hour of Need.
Yeah, Hour of Need's a great card. The reason I like it is, if you notice, a lot of the cards in this deck are reactive, reactive cards. You have a lot of cards that you can play at instant speed. You have the 4 Boon Satyrs, 2 Silumgar Sorcerers, of course the Collected Companies, cards like Quickling, and you always want to leave mana up to Megamorph. So essentially the idea is you're trying to slide some creatures, get some creatures out early, and then once you get up to maybe 5 mana, then you're able to play like a card like Stratus Dancer and have a tempo play, or you can leave up the mana to flash in a Boon Satyr or play a Collected Company. So when they see 5 mana open, they're not necessarily expecting, oh, he's about to play the Hour of Need. And
not many people see the Hour of Need coming.
No. And man, does it feel good changing an Elvish Mystic into a 4/4 Sphinx of Flying.
Yeah, I was about to say, the dead Elvish Mystic way late in the game turns into a 4/4 flyer. You're probably going to be ahead.
Yeah.
So I've seen you play some really interesting lines with this deck. So I'm just going to name one, and then I want to know if there's a more interesting line.
Okay.
So your opponent tried to cast a Hero's Downfall.
Yeah.
And you unmorphed a Stratus Dancer. And since you unmorphed a Stratus Dancer, you brought back 2 of your Death Mist Raptors from the graveyard.
Yeah.
And then you countered their spell. And then they tried to cast another spell. I believe it was a Dig Through Time, in which case you flashed in a Silumgar Sorcerer, killing one of the Death Mist Raptors that you just brought back in, and then next turn you swung for lethal.
Yeah.
Does that kind of line happen all the time, or are we just living in magical Christmas land then?
You know, like, it's not going to happen all the time, right? That's why you hope the cards like Death Mist Raptor or Boon Satyr, if you draw enough of them, they'll be able to get you there, or even a Silumgar Sorcerer or a Stratus Dancer in the air. But with 4 Collected Companies and a Chord of Calling, I like to think that there's a decent chance that, you know, you leave that mana up and you respond. I think my personal favorite line of play was I was playing against Abzan Aggro, which is one of the tougher matchups for the deck, and I was able to respond to a Fleecemane Lion by tapping down a Morph, a Death Mist Raptor, an Elvish Mystic, and 3 guys, the Court of Calling for a Silumgar Sorcerer, and then exploit the Elvish Mystic, countering the Lion, and just getting a really nice tempo swing.
So this deck's just basically blue-green value town.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's all we're trying to do is get all the value we can.
Yeah, it's definitely a tempo deck in many ways, but like you said, the Morph gives it some sort of late game too against some of the more controlier decks.
And then finally, we talk about the sideboard a little bit. You have the full 4 Hornet Nest.
Yeah.
You really did not want to lose to a red deck today, did you?
No, I did not.
Not only that, you had the 4/4 Nylea's Disciple.
Right.
So aggro just not really a concern.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I haven't really gotten a chance to play much. I haven't played much against red deck wins at all. Today, I don't think I faced it once. Abzan aggro, the Hornet's Nest are still a pretty strong card.
Sure.
The Nylea's Disciple doesn't block as well in that matchup, so I usually don't bring it in.
Yeah, but you could get to gain all the life.
Yeah, I could, and ultimately, I kind of like going with other cards just to keep it a little bit more consistent. But
well, this is a very sweet brew. It's awesome. We wanted to see it. We wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
They wanted to see it. They wanted us to talk about it. So thank you for taking the time to cite us in from the sideboard. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for having me.
All right, good luck with the rest of your rounds.
All right, thank you.
Stay tuned for more of the standard action here at the Star City Games Open at Providence, Rhode Island.